You are wrong about everything, Greg. I am right about everything. I think it's time that you come to the realization that I am everything for you. You ready for that?
Yes.
You ready, big dog?
I'm about to change my life.
What an idiot, dude.
Stupid.
Okay, this is a topic that is, it comes up all the damn time. And I really think that most people are wrong about their idea of speed. When we talk about speed, people freak out. There's a whole thing online about, you got to take your time. The nails should be perfect. If you take 3 hours, you take 3 hours. And although that may be true in the beginning, and we'll talk about this, like what it means, timing in the beginning and then later in the career. But overall, what's your take on speed, bro, in the salon? I'm talking about in the salon.
So, we live in what I call a fast food type of service culture. Everything is expected to be,
Now.
right, perfect, and now, right, like you go to your favorite spot and you get a meal and it's done and you're out the door.
Amazon, another example.
Another perfect example.
Right, give it to me now.
Just like you order your stuff and it's at your doorstep in 2 days.
Totally, bro.
And we are also, surrounded. Well, everybody is surrounded by high volume, really, really fast salons that crank out work.
Yes, right.
Right.
There's a lot. Yes.
A lot. And, I feel that it is important to learn the proper technique.
Of course.
So that as you're building your skills, the speed will come naturally. I don't think it should be your focus off the bat.
Right, in the beginning.
No. But with the right tools, understanding the right fundamentals, and what I mean by tools, like learning how to use an electric file properly, learning all the tips and tricks associated with prep, application, and finishing. You don't have to be speed focused. If you master all the fundamentals associated with all the proper technique, your speed will come naturally.
Right.
But it is important to learn because, you want, look, again, if you're doing more clients, you're going to make more money.
Right, which is kind of the bottom line.
Correct.
In the United States especially, I know in other cultures, we've seen this too internationally, like, in Sweden, and where they take longer to do their sets. That's just one example. But the culture is also okay with that. I think you nailed it when you said, especially in the US, everybody wants it now. The culture in the salons are not where if a customer walks in and you're like taking 3 hours, that's not going to fly long term. Like the customers don't have patience to sit in the salon for 3 hours.
Especially if your work is average.
And you're not doing anything special like art and all that. Again, in the beginning, totally
Correct.
different. Like
Totally.
completely different.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not saying.
We got to make that clear.
All you guys out there that are learning the trade, that it's okay to be slow in the beginning because
Right.
you're learning how to balance. You're learning how to work with the products. You're learning how to work with your tools. So it's not going to come naturally.
Right. But with time, it will improve. Like you're saying, as your techniques improve, your time is going to improve. But realistically, you want to be in that, at least my assumption, let's say on average across the board, if you're doing hour appointments by the hour, booking on the hour, Tracy was a different, like like freak of nature. She was booking appointments on the 30 because she's doing fills and just cranking them out like insane, right? And a lot of salons still, they will do that. Like a lot of salons that you can walk into, they'll maybe pump out a fill in 30 minutes. But realistically, if you're doing on the hour, is that like a good goal to reach for?
I think it is a great goal to reach for. I would say, even an hour and a half is not bad at
Right,
all.
totally.
Right. So like hour and a half within that time range is a great goal to shoot for. Now, depending on the work that you do, again, the more art you do, the longer it's going to take.
Of course. Exactly. And I know, like, for example, Mel, she said some of her art on some of her sets, she needs an hour and a half, cause like it's like
depends
crazy
on how
dimensions.
intense. Yeah. I mean,
exactly.
she's had sets that again, could take longer than 2,
Right.
but again, she's charging
for it
a lot for her work.
She is. I know I've seen, there has been talk online, bro. Like there's been people that say you should make your nails as perfect as possible and take as much time as you need. The customers need to understand that this is your art form. And I mean, is that a realistic way to run your nail business long term? I mean, to me, that's very tough, bro.
I think when you're starting, like you don't have a choice, right?
That's absolutely, bro.
But
totally agree.
The goal is to build the skills so that it becomes second nature. And I think once it becomes second nature, then you can expect your time to get a lot faster.
Yeah.
You learn tricks of the trade, which are going to improve your workability. I mean, like if you were a beginner or just say even an intermediate nail technician and you've never used sculpting forms, and someone walks in and says, I want sculpted nails, and you don't know how to use them.
Yeah.
Like it's going to take a lot of time, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But building the right skills is going to lead to faster sets. Learning how to use your electric file, learning how to file properly, learning how to shape. And I get perfection, dude. I am
right.
I've been made fun of by everybody in this company. Trust me, for the last 20 years for being perfect.
Right.
But again, it's, something that I'm obsessed with. I'm obsessed with shaping. I'm obsessed with making them look as perfect as I can. But I've learned to step back.
Right. Yeah. And also, in a, like, if you're in a salon setting and you have to book on the hour and a half, right?
Correct.
It's not going to be practical or possible long term. If you're nitpicking over every little thing about your nails, bro,
Totally.
and then the client's about to leave and another client's coming in, and if you're nitpicking, they're going to be like, oh yeah, I see that. And then like their expectation is going to go through the ceiling.
Correct.
Your eye is totally different than the consumer's eye, right? Dude,
Correct.
if you did a set of nails, let's say that you were happy with, but maybe you saw some things that you could do better, dude, the customer's never going to see that.
No.
There's no chance they're going to see what your eye sees, right?
No.
I mean, impossible.
They're not.
I mean, most techs,
unless that customer has been trained to look for those imperfections, right?
Right, exactly. It's like anything else, like if I'm watching a UFC fight and there are things that I see, that they're doing where I'm like, oh my God. And everybody in the room's quiet. They're like, what are you watching? And I'm like, dude, did you not see them? No. I'm like, you almost got no, they don't see it, but I train every single day. I know exactly. It's the same thing with nails. Like you said, the trained eye, bro, is going to see it. And you can't. Can you imagine if we ran our business, Greg, our Young Nails, and we're like, no, every single thing has to be perfect, and we're not shipping out anything until everything, bro.
Well,
the business would stall.
Well, not only that, can you imagine? And we've experienced this on previous sales, but like we got stuck with basically machines last year
Correct,
that
not
were working.
Right.
And we, like, when Black Friday was over, we were in a crunch and we couldn't get everyone's orders. Can you imagine if, again, we ran that every single year, you guys, and we had sales and we're like, yeah, you're not going to get your packages for 3 weeks.
Dude.
Oh my God.
There's no chance, bro.
No, that's the thing. If you guys order something, you expect to get a response and you want to get your product as fast as you possibly can.
And dude, that's a great example, right? We were just learning our technology. This was all new for us, right? So you do it in the beginning, people will forgive you.
We failed.
We failed,
but we were able to complete it all.
We were able to complete it all. It took forever. Same thing in nails. When you start out, of course, people, they're going to be forgiving. Like in the beginning, you take longer. So fast forward to 12 months later, where Tracy and the team got everything dialed in. They learned. We were shipping orders real time during Black Friday, bro. And it's like, and that's how it should be with nails,
right.
Where you have to constantly improve to where you're getting clients in and out the door in an hour at, on average, let's say.
Yeah, we're so average.
On average, you're setting your appointments maybe to the hour. Maybe fills are going to take a little longer. Quicker, but rebalances will take a little longer. So
yeah, designs are going to take longer.
Exactly.
It depends on the complexity of the work and what you're going to be doing.
Exactly.
Right? I think but the goal is to get faster with everything that you do. So faster with prep, faster with application, faster with finishing. So those 3 variables right there.
Huge.
And again, I'm not saying if you're at 3 hours, I'm not saying you need to be at an hour. I think our realistic goal is if you're at 3, then you want to try to get to the 2-hour mark.
Right.
And then the ultimate goal is to try to get it to an hour and a half.
Exactly.
When you cut your time in half, think about how much money you can earn.
Totally.
Right, with more services that you'll be able to provide for the clients that are out there.
And then if you're doing 3-hour sets too, it's like breaking down, do the set, time yourself, and then what part of the process is taking me the longest? Am I taking 45 minutes on prep? Am I so fixated on perfectly making sure I get,
I have, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people who are obsessed with that. I was telling you that, my wife's friend just got a, Russian style manicure, gel polish, cuticle work. The lady cuts cuticles, and again, I don't advocate it, but there's people that do it, and there's technique that's involved to make it look perfect. So there are individuals out there, but, okay, so she paid $250 for a flawless set of gel polish nails.
How long did it take? Do you know?
Took 2 hours.
Yeah, it took 2 hours, right?
So 2 hours, and again, there's a meticulous amount of work that's done to prepare the nails, the cuticles, so they're absolutely flawless.
Perfect, yeah.
Then the layering process of the gel, it's not just painting them on. You're doing detail work with fine liners around the cuticle area to make sure they look tucked and perfect. And then if there needs to be any refinement that's done, you're building and then you're refining, finishing to make it look perfect so that every single nail is flawless in nature. So it takes time.
It takes time. This is another great example of good for her, right? Because you're taking 2 hours to do gel polish, which seems like a really long time, but you're making it perfect. But you're charging the appropriate price.
She's making $125 an hour.
Dude, good for her. That's a great wage.
And she has to do this. She's in Newport Beach, dude.
Yeah, and that's the thing. She's in a market where she will find people that will pay.
I can't imagine the rent that she's paying and the location she's in.
It's got to be insane.
It has to be absolutely insane. So if your overhead is through the ceiling,
right?
You can't get away with doing $40 gel polish sets.
But
unless you're cranking them out.
Yeah, every 30 minutes to make $80 an hour, which is really good. That's also good. So, but that's the thing. You can charge the $250, or Mel will charge over $200 for an hour and a half, right? Even. But when you look at the nails, you're like, oh, okay. That gel polish is probably looks unbelievably, like you said, perfect and flawless. You have to pump that kind of work out, though.
But it's also based on, again, how long does the product last on the customer's nails?
That in the end, that's everything.
If someone is willing to pay that kind of price, it's not like they want issues within 2 weeks.
You cannot have issues.
No, they have to last like 3 to 4 weeks.
They got to last 3 to 4 weeks, bro.
Yeah.
And inevitably, obviously, there's going to be growth. So
correct.
After a couple weeks, you're going to start to see the whites behind the nails.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
That's unavoidable. In the end, the point, just to kind of wrap this up, the point is this: if you are somebody that's like, if you're like time, I'm not worrying about time. I'm not saying you should be stressed out about it, but to not worry about it at all is wrong. Any business, period, end of story. I don't care if it's nails. I don't care if it's products or shipping. I don't care your Amazon. Everything in the end, good customer service revolves around time.
It does.
We have to ship in a timely manner, bro, or we will have no customers.
Can you imagine going to a restaurant? They're like, yeah, your food's not going to be out here for an hour. Think about that,
bro.
Right? Go to a really nice restaurant. They're like, your steak will be ready in an hour and a half.
Dude, I'm not kidding you. On Saturday, Mavette and I we were celebrating our anniversary. We went to dinner. It's a really great restaurant. We ordered. The starter came out. Boom. We were like, oh my God, dude, this is amazing. And then it was like 30 minutes before the next, like the salad came out, bro. And so I started getting like, and then after that, it took another like 20 minutes before they brought the steak. And I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
doesn't matter how good the food is.
The food was unbelievable, but we were like tired from waiting,
totally. I mean, I'm like, again, it could be great food. You want, whatever waiter or waitress is actually, working with you that evening, you want them to constantly check on, do you have enough water? Are you guys good? All it does is a little small reminder every 10 minutes come by, check on you. Like, just check on you, right?
Has to be, bro. And Greg, it's the same thing in the salon. Like,
totally is.
You need to do, I'm not saying you need to do, the most perfect gel polish manicure you've ever seen in your life, but you need to do quality work in a timely manner, because that is, I don't know why people always say in nails, like, well, you need to, No. It's still a business.
Correct.
And as long as it's a business and you're charging, you have to care about speed and time. It has to be a focus.
Yeah. And for those of you guys that are frustrated because you're not there yet, it's part of the process. It's part of the grind. Good thing is there's plenty of incredible education that surrounds the technique, that involves you getting faster without you having to focus on it. And what I mean by that is it's learning to use the right tools properly that are designed to prevent you from taking a long time doing prep or taking a long time doing finishing. And if you understand how to use those tools properly, without even thinking, you're going to start getting faster and faster.
100%. Awesome, bro. Thank you so much for the conversation.
Hey, just remember, I'm the coolest.
Thank you. I am the coolest. I appreciate it. Thank you, bro.
Subscribe the channel now. Subscribe the channel now. Subscribe to the channel now. Subscribe to the channel